Alright, today I'm going to be explaining my project on Russian peasant multiplication. Let's take the problem 73 times 42 for example. Most of us learn multiplication this way, where we set up our numbers vertically. So we would set up 73 and 42 and multiply them throughout. So we would multiply our 2 times our 3, get 6. Move on to our 2 times 70, which is, we're just going to say is 2 times 7, which is 14. Then we're going to move on and multiply our 40 times 3, which is why I put a 0 there, which is 12. Carry the 1, 4 times 7 plus 1, which is going to be 29. Add this all together, and you get 6, 6, 10, carry the 1, and 3. So that's the way most of us learn multiplication. But the way the Russian peasants do it is they set it up differently. They set up their first number, and they set up their second number, and they in columns. And so in your column 1, let's label our column here, column 1 and column 2. So column 1, you multiply by 2. In our column 2, we divide by 2, or we are constantly having it. So one column, we are constantly doubling it. In our second column, we are constantly having it. So 42 times 2 is 84. Write that number down. 73 divided by 2 is 36.5, but we just write 36. Ignore the decimal. 84 times 2 is 168. 36 divided by 2 is 18. Oh, and when you have a number that is even in the second column, you cross it out. So we're going to cross out both numbers, 84 and 36, because 36 is even. We're going to cross out both numbers here, 168 and 18, because 18 is even. We're going to keep doing this, halving and doubling, until our number in the first column gets down to 1. So 168 times 2 is 336. 18 divided by 2 is 9. We are not going to cross out this number because it's odd. 336 times 2 is 272. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5, but just like with the 36, we're going to put down 4. Then we're going to cross out this number because 4 is even. Remember, we cross out both numbers. Move on. Our 672 times 2 is 1,344. Our 4 divided by 2 is 2. Cross that out because it is an even number. Last one, 1,344 times 2 is 2,688. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then we're done with what we do with our Russian multiplication. But no, we're not actually, because then we're going to add up all the numbers that are left in our first column. So all the numbers that we didn't cross out, all the numbers that we didn't cross out, we are going to add together. So our 42, our 336, and our 2,688, we are going to add all together. And if we do the math, we get, I'll write it over here since I ran out of room. So 42 plus 336, let's write it out so we know that we're doing it right. So 2,688 plus 3, 36, plus 42. So 8 plus 6 plus 2 is equal to 16. Carry the 1. 1 plus 8 plus 3 plus 4 is also 16. Carry the 1. 1 plus 6 plus 3 is 10. Carry the 1. And 1 plus 2 is 3. And look at that. We got the same answer. So Russian peasant multiplication really works. Now let's move on to answer the question, how does it work? So let's do an easier number that won't get such a big number as last time. So let's do 7 times 4. So we're going to set it up. We're going to do 4 times 7. And it really doesn't matter which one you put in the first column and which one you put in the second column. I'm just going to do it this way because it's easier to show the final product. So we multiply our 7 times 2, which is 14. Then we multiply our, we divide our 4 by 2, and we get 2. Then we multiply our 14 by 2, we get 28. Divide our 2 by 2, and we get 1. And let's not forget to cross out both numbers if the second column is even. And so if we add all the numbers remaining in the first column, we get 28 because that is the only number remaining. So let's figure out why this works. Alright, so let's look at this visually. So if we set up our 7 groups of 4, so here we have 4, and here we have 7, and we split that up. And we take half of this. So we're going to multiply this by 2 and halve this by 2 as well. So here we're multiplying and here we're dividing. So in our next group we have 2 groups of 14. So we have 2 groups of 14, and then we're going to take that and we're going to split it down the middle, and just like with the last one, with one of these halves we're going to multiply it by 2, and with another one of these halves we're going to divide it by 2. So in our last column, we have one group of 28. So this all works out because all Russian peasant multiplication is regrouping, or it's a different way of multiplying. So we're not ever changing the answer because we are multiplying one group by 2, and the other group we are dividing by 1/2. And so 2 times 1/2 is equal to 1. So that's why nothing ever changes, and you get the same answer as you would with our normal way of multiplying, our long multiplication. And sorry, I misspoke. So you're multiplying one group by 2 and multiplying the other group by 1/2, or dividing it by 2. And it all works out because you don't get a different answer, you just get 1. You're just regrouping it in a different way. So that's how Russian peasant multiplication works.